Have you ever wondered why the sun, planets, moons and asteroids are approximately on the same plane? Planets orbit the sun along a plane, and regular moons of planets also orbit along a plane and in the same direction as the planet. The process that created the solar system occurred billions of years ago. It started with the accumulation of a molecular cloud, which became a spinning cloud of dust and gas, or a stellar nursery. One day, an event occurred that generated a lot of energy.
This sudden burst of external energy was applied to the gas dust volume, and this forced them to collapse, compress together and form clusters. The increasing weight of the molecular cloud forced it to further collapse on itself.
Dense regions within the molecular cloud began to join together to form bigger units, and these units increased in mass and gravity. Eventually, this forms a protoplanetary disk that spins in the direction of the majority of the particles. As the protoplanetary disk spun, it became flattened and began to spread out. At the center of the disk, the particles were so compressed that they generated a lot of heat and pressure, which resulted in the nuclear fusion of hydrogen and helium. Eventually, this nuclear reaction formed a baby sun which grew in size over millions of years by collecting dust and gas particles. As the dust within the protoplanetary disk continued to spin, some collided and stuck together and became bigger in size over millions of years with each collision. Under the influence of gravity, these clusters were shaped into spherical structures of different sizes, which we know as planets today. Ever since, the planets and the sun have stayed approximately on the same plane where their formation process started from. You might be wondering that if the Earth was formed from dust and gases, then what formed the dust and the gas? Also, where did the external energy that triggered the collapse of the dust cloud come from?
If you consider the approximately 8 billion kilometers journey of a spacecraft from launch on Earth to the Mercury orbit, a lot of deliberate planning and actions are required to achieve this feat. Accurate trajectory correction and many gravitational slingshot maneuvers will be required, with repeated passes around the Sun, and then the final Mercury orbit insertion maneuver must be safely executed. If all these are calculated and planned for over a decade, in some cases before execution, is it then possible that galaxies are just products of random events without the actions of a master planner? This is what happened. In the beginning, the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and the world formation began.
Now you know where the initial burst of energy came from. Thank you for watching.